We got Chase Hooper back here on the program, who's coming off a unanimous decision victory over Canaan Kawaihae at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series on July 2nd. Chase, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing much. Just kind of enjoying some time off, relaxing, letting my body heal.
Excellent. Well, first off, congratulations on getting the developmental deal. I got to know, heading into the fight, were there any added nerves with the fact that this was on the Contender Series? This was in Vegas. Was there anything, any added pressure going into this fight?
I wouldn't say pressure. I'd say it got me pumped up a little more. That made it easier to kind of get into the zone. No, I'm pretty good about kind of keeping that stuff off to the side, not thinking about it too much.
Okay, well, that's good. And what was the game plan heading into the fight, and do you feel like you executed it?
Well, the game plan wasn't to get beat up the first round.
Well, I imagine that part. Yes, I kind of figured that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of expected him to come out hard, and then we were just gonna kind of work around that, and then take any opportunities to try to get him to the ground, hit him, submit him, and yeah, I feel aside from that first part, it worked out pretty well.
Was there anything about him that surprised you in the fight?
I was kind of surprised how quickly he gassed out. I mean, and his striking was super good, super crisp. I was kind of expecting that, but yeah, no, I was really surprised with how quickly he kind of like wilted after that first round. I kind of made him tired by beating me up a little bit, so I guess it worked out for me. So.
It sure did. Now, he's a very tough opponent, and I know you went the distance, like I mentioned off the top there. Were you worried at all you wouldn't get a contract or developmental deal just with the fact that it seems like they take guys who get finishes? Were you worried at all?
Yeah, I was pissed at the end of the fight because, like, god damn it, I kind of screwed up my chances there. I was like, I was really hoping to get the finish, and then, but when I was in the back getting stitches, Dana actually came back and was like, "Hey, man, nice job, good fight." Like before anything else. And
I mean, that's a good sign. So as he says that, are you thinking, okay, maybe I'm gonna get something here?
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, he's never done that before." So I was like, "Oh, there we go. That's things are looking up a little more now."
So I'm sure you would have liked the UFC contract, but a developmental deal, I mean, this is the next best thing. Basically, they retain your rights. You get to use the PI. I mean, that's still pretty awesome. Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. And then I think I'm under their health insurance, which is good. Since I'm only 18 and, health insurance is, kind of a bitch over here.
It's not like up here in Canada. We got pretty good healthcare up here, but we're not going to talk about that. So you get the developmental deal. Have they sort of given you an idea of like what they're going to do with you next? Like, have you talked to the UFC since you got the developmental deal?
No, they were saying like, hey, we'll hit you up in a little bit. I figured not to stress out about it because they had the big fights up in Calgary, which everybody kind of knows about. So I was just kind of hanging out and waiting for them to contact me.
Okay, that makes sense. Because it seems like, I mean, I'm just going off what happened last time. I mean, if you look at Bavon Lewis, who had a developmental deal, they sent him to LFA for a fight, and then he came back on Contender Series the next year. Is that kind of what you're thinking, is that you might fight for LFA? Because it looks like Contender Series, all the cards are filled up for the rest of the year.
I don't know. I'm kind of open to whatever, I'm sure they kind of have a plan, and then I'll kind of go with that. I'm kind of down to fight whoever, wherever.
And you mentioned the stitches. When are you looking to get cleared as far as when you can fight again?
I think they said my medical suspension was like 45 days or something. So, I mean, not planning on fighting in like a month. But yeah, I'd like to get like 1 or 2 fights before the end of the year. That'd be nice to fight in like September, October, somewhere around there.
That makes sense. So I talked about, obviously, talking to the UFC. What was the feedback like on social media? Because, again, you got the developmental deal. You're 18 years old, man. Like, to be under UFC contract or be under at least the banner anyways, that's a pretty big deal.
For sure. People on social media were pretty supportive. Lots of people liked the fight, so that was good. And then you always have, like, that small minority that's, like, talking shit, but, you just got to kind of ignore that. everybody's like, "Oh, I could have done that better," but it's like, hey, you work at like Subway, so yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, that's something you're going to probably have to deal with now because, you're going to have more people coming out of the woodwork, whether they want to say positive stuff or negative stuff. Is that something I guess you're preparing for, just having to deal with, the haters, as they say?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, my social media is kind of like coming back into like normalcy now. Like it's not as wild as it was, where I just like my phone was just dead because so many notifications and whatnot. Yeah, it's kind of back to normal now, so that's good.
What's that like as an 18-year-old getting that much feedback? Because, your friends aren't getting that type of feedback on social media, that's for sure.
It's definitely different. I don't know. I was not expecting it. Like that's kind of one of the things that I feel like I kind of overlooked was like, oh yeah, a ton of people are gonna be, looking at my social media, like trying to DM my girlfriend and stuff.
Really? Have you had guys do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
Not too many like weird guys, but
Okay, that's unfortunate. So when you won the fight, how did you celebrate that night? Because it's in Vegas, you can't drink or do anything like that. You probably just had some good food, I take it.
yeah. I went to the hotel and had some sweet pancakes, and then they were like peanut butter and jelly pancakes. I figured I'd get something soft 'cause my jaw could barely close, so I was like, that'll do.
Well, pancakes are always a winner at any time of the day, any hour, doesn't matter. You mentioned, or I mentioned there, the PI, you being able to use it. Is there any plans to go out to Vegas at this point and take advantage of that?
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna try to make a couple trips, just to kind of, let the UFC know that I'm like kind of in there, in and out, kind of always staying active, and kind of so they can see where I'm at, what I'm doing. Yeah, I love the facility. I've been down there a couple times. We went there after weigh-ins. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be amazing to be able to kind of just use that whenever, and then it'd be cool if I could use some of the more, I don't know, like
Well,
physical
some of the
therapy
things you
type of
probably don't
stuff.
have access to back home. Am I right? You want to take
For
advantage of
sure.
that, like I'm sure they got like the cryotherapy and stuff. Not to say that you can't get that, but there's probably some things there that you'll want to get that you can't get back home.
For sure. Yeah, and then like being able to use that for free rather than like pay like $100 an hour or some shit up here.
Yeah,
That'd be
it adds
yeah,
up, man. It's expensive to do all the recovery and everything.
for sure. Especially since I'm paying all my bills right now and kind of divvying that up. Kind of $100 an hour sessions are not quite in the budget right now.
No, I hear you on that. Last question before I let you go here. Any summer plans in the Pacific Northwest? For people who don't know, it's a really nice summer spot for anyone. If you can get out there, are you going on the lake or anything like that?
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna try to go out on the lake as much as I can. Try to get tan. Uh, Bring my dog out there and maybe go on some hikes or something.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's always nice in the summertime out there because it doesn't get too hot, but it's also really nice weather. Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely season of the shirtless yard work for me. I'm gonna be trying to.
That's awesome. Actually, one more thing for you. Did you have any fighters reach out to you after the win? Like any UFC guys, anyone that maybe you didn't know that kind of gave you some props on Instagram or Twitter?
Kiesa's always been a super cool dude. But I met him down when I went down for like pre-shoot type of stuff in July. But yeah, he was a super cool dude. He kind of reached out and was like, "Hey, congrats, super good fight," and then kind of congratulated me and my coach. He's a cool guy.
That's great. You Pacific Northwest guys stick together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. He kind
Awesome,
of
man.
yeah, he's a good dude.
Well, Chase, enjoy the victory. And again, congratulations on the development deal. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
All right. Yeah, my Instagram is at CHOOP556. Twitter, Chase_Hooper. And then shout out to my like jiu-jitsu gi sponsor, CTRL. They kind of keep me geared up for jits. And then also If You Get Forward, which is like a local dealership here in Enumclaw. They're super supportive of like me and the team and everybody. The Mint, which is the restaurant here in town that my girlfriend's parents own, super good. They got like vegan options and whatnot, which is definitely hard to come by around here. yeah, thanks to everybody on the team that kind of helped me to get ready for the fight. And then that's it.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.